Okay, so jumping right into this tutorial, I got all my supplies out. I have my wig stand, a canvas, a mannequin head, and I put a plastic bag over the top to protect the canvas mannequin head from getting all messed up from the bleach and the dye. Going into OMG Queen box, I'm getting out my Bob Blonde 613 color wig, and I'm gonna attach this to the mannequin head with some T-pins. Now I got this wig from OMG Queen. It's about 14 inches. I love OMG Queen because it's a lot cheaper than what I'm used to paying from like rpgshow.com, and yeah, their wig is good. Their wigs are good quality but cheap. So I attached the wig backwards or upside down, whatever, to the mannequin head, and I started to spray it with some got-to-be spray. Now I'm just spraying the lace because I want to protect it from any dye that might get onto the lace. I don't want to dye the lace. I don't know if this helped because I definitely still got dye on it and I still had to bleach the knots after this. So I mean, you can skip this step. I'm just showing it because I did do it. It might have helped, it might not have, I'm not sure. So yeah. And then after drying that got-to-be hairspray, I just flipped the wig back over, attached it with some T-pins again, and I separated the wig into 3 sections. I find that sectioning off the hair is, you have to do this in order to not make a mess and really be able to work in sections when you are dyeing these roots. I find that dyeing the roots is a little bit harder than dyeing the ends because you just have to be so much more precise and accurate. Before we get started, I'm going to get out all my supplies. I got foil sheets, a bowl, a spoon, the toothbrush I'm going to use to apply the dye to the roots, and then also my ash brown hair dye. This is like Ion color I got from Sally's. I also have my blonde foaming toner. This is going to help take that really yellow color to a nice ash blonde. My T-pins and also my gloves. Don't forget your gloves, y'all. You gotta have gloves or your hands are going to be fucked up. So now I am taking my toothbrush and I'm just applying the brown dye. I did mix this brown dye with the developer. I mixed it according to the package, so make sure that you do that. You don't want to just apply the dye straight to the wig because it's not going to do shit. So I'm just taking my toothbrush and I'm doing about an inch and a half of this brown dye. I'm trying to get the brown dye as close to the lace as I can without getting it on the lace. I want to make sure that this looks good. As you can see here, I did not know how to fold the foils, but I'm learning, I'm trying. I would just suggest, you know, if you are a little bit apprehensive about dyeing a wig, start with one of your old ones. I dyed a couple old ones first until you build up that confidence, and then you can jump right in and start, you know, working on maybe a new wig that you bought, or you can just simply dye your old ones whenever, you know, you're tired of the color. This one was cheaper than buying a pre-dyed one from RPG Show, so I went ahead and bought this 613 one from OMG Queen. It was like $200 cheaper, and I was like, I'll dye it myself. Now, my next wig that I buy is gonna be from RPG Show because it was hard, it was a lot, and I still wasn't completely satisfied, but I will rock this wig for a couple months before I do that. So I'm just going around the whole wig. I am doing this in sections, in those 3 sections. I already did one side and now I am working on the other side. I will then go around to the back. I probably should have put the hair in 4 sections because it was really hard to get the back of the wig because it was just such a wide section. So I would suggest sectioning off the hair in 4 sections, but here we are. So everything is done. We have the foils in the hair. I'm gonna let this sit and I'm gonna check it every 10 minutes and check the dye and see if it's at the color that I want. When it is at the color that I want, I'm gonna go ahead and start removing the foils. As you can see here, I did mess up. There are pieces of brown dye throughout the hair and I was like freaking out, like fuck, I fucking ruined it. I even went to the store and got some dye remover, but I ended up not having to use it because once you rinse it, it wasn't that noticeable. So don't freak out if you spill a little bit of dye or you feel like it's not perfect. Once you rinse and style, it usually will come out okay. Just be very careful. I could have been a little bit more careful. I wasn't, and I wish I was. I'm now going in and I'm going to go ahead and shampoo this brown dye out of the hair, making sure that I really get that dye out, as you don't want it sitting on there. So just shampoo it really good. You don't have to use shampoo if you don't want to dry the hair out, especially if you're bleaching it. Like say you're bleaching a brown wig blonde. I would suggest using conditioner, but I went ahead with a little bit of shampoo. I still have to bleach the knot, so I didn't condition it yet. So I'm just gonna rinse, do the damn thing. Look at all this dye. Look at all that dye on my wig. I was like, oh shit. It's not noticeable though, I swear. Once you put it on your head, it is not noticeable at all. My motor's about to go out. You have got to be kidding me. My fucking blow dryer just broke. Oh my gosh. Walgreens is right around the corner from my house. I just grabbed this. Yes, y'all, my blow dryer went out. I went and grabbed another one though, and this one was so much better. I'm so happy. I needed a blow dryer for so long, and I was just like waiting. I wanted to get the Dyson, but who needs that? Nobody needs all that. So I went ahead and blow dried my hair, and you can see this is the finished look. It looks good. Like, you can't even really see all those brown spots. Like, I'm so happy with it. It came out really good. So the next step that I'm gonna do is go ahead and mix my developer and the lightener together, and we're gonna go ahead and bleach these knots. When bleaching the knots, be very careful. I put way too much here. Way too much. I don't like bleaching it like this. I like being super light, and it always works. I don't know why I forgot how I bleach knots and ended up putting this much, because it will start to seep through the holes and it will dye the roots of your hair back blonde. So just go super light. Bleach the knots. Check every 5-10 minutes until your knots are super light. I would say like 20-30 minutes total, and you're good to go. So now this is where I made a mistake, okay? I took the blonde, this is like a shampoo toner, and I put way too much. So you don't want to put this shampoo or whatever purple toner that you're using, usually it's a shampoo or conditioner, don't put it directly on the hair. It will turn the hair purple. So I made a little tub of water and added the toner like I saw people do on YouTube, and I still put too much. And as you can see, my hair has a purple tint to it now. It definitely took the blonde a beautiful ash brown, but it left purple on the fucking hair. So I was like so mad. I was like, I'm gonna have to call this video a fail, but whatever. So I took out my baby hairs. This is what I'm gonna use as my baby hairs. I braided it up, combing the hair back, and I'm gonna go ahead and take my tweezers and just start tweezing the hairline. This hairline was already very tweezed. I was so happy and just like, oh my God, they tweezed it so nicely. So I didn't have to do a lot. I'm adding makeup to the rim of the lace, and I'm gonna go ahead and cut out little ear pieces, and I'm gonna go ahead and start gluing my lace down. So I work in sections. I already cut a lot of the lace off, and I'm just adding glue, and I'm taking my eyebrow razor and I'm just cutting around. I don't like to use scissors because it leaves like a really blunt angle when using scissors. So I just kind of get a natural hairline when I use the eyebrow razor. So I'm just, like I said, going in sections, working around the perimeter of my hairline. I'm gonna cut and then glue a little bit, and then cut and then glue a little bit, using my fan to dry as we go along. So you can just go ahead and roll with me as I do this process. Yeah, the comb wasn't staying in my hair. Y'all didn't see that. Woohoo! So I got the lace down. As you can see, I'm just pressing it with the end of my rat tail comb. Now, the lace is not 100% blended. The makeup color that I used wasn't a perfect match. I should have went a little bit lighter. I don't know what I did wrong, but you know, my lace usually looks like this, so it's okay. That's why you have baby hairs. Baby hairs are what pulls it all together, and I wish I would have known this a long time ago. For a while, I didn't do intense baby hairs, and now I realize, like, oh my God, I've been doing them for about 2 months now, and they are the shit. So I'm gonna go ahead and cut a little bit more. I didn't have enough. I decided to cut a little bit more baby hairs, and I'm just going in with this wax stick. I'm gonna go ahead and get this to lay a little bit flat. I tried to go in with my flat iron or my hot comb, and it wasn't turned on, so I had to go in with the flat iron and just kind of press the hair down. You guys see that purple tint? Yeah, that's not cool. It even looks a little green. We ain't gonna worry about that though, okay? If you dye it right and don't use too much toner, you won't have to worry about this. I'm now going in with my foam, and I'm just gonna do this all around the edges. I love doing this part. The foam is just so, like, I love it. So I'm just adding tons of foam. Don't worry. Add as much as you want. It's gonna make it look good. And I'm just taking a toothbrush, and I'm now gonna work those baby hairs. If you don't have enough, go ahead and cut some more. It's okay. You can always blend it back if you have too much. And I have a little trick that I use. I like to go in with like an eyebrow spoolie, and this really helps me to lay my baby hairs really nicely and really, manipulate them to my liking. Sometimes a toothbrush can't do it perfectly. I'm now going in with some concealer. This is just some Becca concealer that I have, and I'm gonna go ahead and get that part looking real nice. I didn't even tweeze this part at all. I probably should have tweezed it a little bit more, but it was tweezed. So they did a good job, OMG Queen, with really tweezing the hairline and the part and really getting it to look natural. I think the hairline looks very natural, and I'm telling you, I didn't do a lot of tweezing. Usually I have to tweeze a lot to get the hairline to look like this. So I was very satisfied and happy, delighted. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my silk little scarf that I got on Amazon, and I'm gonna tie my hair down and just leave this on for about 20 minutes, and then we will remove it. And while my scarf is on, I'm going to go ahead and spray some of this leave-in conditioner from Amica, take my hot comb, which is now heated up, and start working this hot comb all through my hair, getting this hair to just be silky. It was looking a little frayed and like over-dyed and fried. So yeah, we had to get it looking nice. So I just ran the hot comb through, then I sectioned it off in sections to really get like a good job. And really just got that hot comb in and straightened everything out really nice. So as I'm watching this video, I am definitely seeing where I messed up. You can see on the top of my hair, like some parts don't look dark enough. So like I said, this was my third time dyeing a wig. I did not do it perfectly, but I have worn this wig already for a week as I'm recording this, and I like it. It looks good. It's not super noticeable. I mean, so, don't take this as the gospel. I'm not a freaking hairstylist. I'm a makeup artist. So yeah, just go crazy, do your own thing, be artistic with it. I know I was. So now it's time to remove the silk scarf. Ooh, looking nice. I'm taking a little bit more of that wax and just like waxing all these little flyaways or strays down. And then I'm going to take my flat iron and I'm going to go through the hair, and I'm going to do a little dip underneath, as you see me doing here, just to get a nice little bump underneath my hair, get it going under. If you want it going the other way, just bump it the other way. You want to add crimps or curls, do whatever you like when you are styling your hair. And this is the finished look. Despite the purple tint, which will eventually wash out over time, I think it came out pretty good. I really like it, and this is my first wig tutorial that I've done, so I really hope you guys like it. I hope it was informative. Thank you so much for watching this video. I have a makeup look that I did with this hair, but this video was way too long. I can only do 15 minutes at a time on YouTube, so I will put that video up next week, and then I will have a haul video the week after. So if you guys want to see those, stay tuned, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.